Do you love yourself? The way I've cracked the code is I live under a fancy rock.
Come on.
They'll edit it.
To microphone.
I'm not the one for you. Sing it, baby.
What makes you feel like an adult? At what point did you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm an adult?
I don't think I feel that way till now.
You feel like you're still a child.
It's just that child
Like. So, welcome to the first episode of Help. I'm an adult. And with me, well, before I introduce my amazing guest here, my name is Addy, and I could be your, how should I call myself? Your Chief Encouragement Officer, but also your Adulthood Officer. Yeah, maybe I'm going to help you on the journey called adulthood, right? So I've got here with me Isoken.
Hey.
So
Hey, girl.
how you doing? How you doing?
Goody.
How are you feeling today?
So excited. Like, your beauty is overwhelming me right now.
Preach to me.
It's so good to be here on your first episode.
I know, of course. Who was going to be first? It had to be you.
I'm a celebrity.
If it wasn't you, you were going to basically kill me.
True.
It had to be you.
So true.
So yeah, how are you feeling today?
Great. Greater than what people say.
I'm done with you. She done. Okay, so today we're talking about adulthood. Are you feeling quite adulty?
I think so, my woman nature must come out in this episode so that people can see.
Well, what makes you feel like an adult? At what point did you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm an adult?
I don't think I feel that way till now.
You feel like you're still a child.
It's just that child
Like.
It's just that, usually, let's say you want to make plans with people and they're just not working out. You're like, adulthood.
Guilty.
Adulthood.
I legit have to schedule. I have a calendar. I can't make anything outside of my calendar because if I do, hot mess. Because me, in my infinite wisdom, I used to think that I can go to 10 places in one day.
That is me now. That is how we do our
That's how
things.
it was before in the past. Before I became that adult, That's how I was. Before I used to go 5 places and it was all right.
Yes.
Now I can't do more than 2. 2 is even pushing it because that means lack of sleep. I can't do more than 1. And then everybody I have to talk to, I have to schedule in my calendar. I'm like, oh, sorry, I can't do today. Let's do next week. We now be planning 2 months in advance to have one date. This is not how life is meant to be.
What kind of thing is this?
It's called life.
It's not the life they promised me.
What did they promise you? Because I didn't get any promises. I wasn't prepared. Just threw me in like this. So what did they promise you?
Candy floss, cupcakes, and ice cream. When Mr. Clown would hold that microphone and say, "Is she the winner?" Yes! That was what I was promised. So I was promised first place in every dancing competition. Friends come around, say your love is wicked.
So I can't deal with it.
That's what I was promised.
No,
But
childhood was fun though.
It was
dancing
fun.
Competition. Oh my
Yes,
God,
now,
it was late.
when you're shy and then your mom was like,
and then we do not do my
"You do this!"
and then you're not the winner at everything.
Who is the winner?
I love it. But what has been the biggest shock so far? I mean, we're still in the we're not over adulthood, we're still adulting. But I mean the other day, someone messaged me and said, I'm new to adulthood. I don't know what to do. And I was like, do you need a manual? He's like, yes. I was like, I'm gonna make you a manual, But just coming straight from university, then coming to I'll call it real life because university was not really real life.
Yeah.
There's kind of it was sheltered, but now you're coming to bills, responsibilities, having money, finances, career, and you don't know where you're going to. Everybody has different expectations of you, your family, your friends, even you. You have expectations of yourself that I've not even met. And then the world is demanding things from you. And then you're seeing different people looking good, doing their thing. I'm just how have you managed that so far? Has that been overwhelming? How have you managed it?
I got one thing to say. The manual is Emmanuel.
Come on now.
Fire on my head. There is fire on my head. Every other day. There is fire on my head.
I love it. Speak more about that man called Emmanuel.
Come on, girl.
That man, come and see a man. Tell me about this Emmanuel.
So first off, let me just, talk about the transition. Okay? So, I mean, we all expect that one day we'll be making money, which is basically the premise for adulthood.
Yeah.
Making money, being relevant, being stable and comfortable. So we all hope for that.
Yeah.
Right? I think what makes it overwhelming per se is when you lose yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose yourself. You're caught in the hamster loop and you just keep going every day. Work.
I know.
Work.
So boring.
You don't have time for yourself, time for things that you think are important. You don't even have time to think.
Yeah.
Just work back to back. And that's the progress. I just see that going forward and as I am living, I find myself a little less motivated to kill myself.
Preach.
Because eventually you'd kill yourself for work that will not kill itself for you. Right? So I think that's really just the key to the city. Finding a way to work, stay comfortable, stable, and still live as yourself.
Yeah.
Still do things that are important to you, things you enjoy. Still surround yourself with people who love you. That's very important because those people might not even really be there. They might be caught in the rat race as well.
I know. I'm just like, yeah, that's me. Come to me direct, don't be cutting corners.
I must cut that corner. One TV. So yeah, I just think we need to be, as adults, we need to be more intentional. We need to stop telling ourselves, adulthood na scam. If we keep telling ourselves that, we're never going to be motivated to find the balance. Even though really there's nothing like work-life balance. Apparently, there's nothing like work-life balance. Anything that's going to be something significant will take you off balance. Hallelujah. But yeah, it's really just being intentional. I think being an adult can be very crazy because there's a lot of drama. There is a lot of drama. Even with the rat race, there's still drama.
Yeah.
I think we just need to stop and breathe. Play that song. They're going to play it now. They're going to play that song when they're editing it. Bobby. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think about adulting? How have you been able to navigate it so far?
I'll say for me, one word classifies adulthood for me. Confused.
Because
I feel like I had an idea of what I wanted to be when I grew up, but my family, my parents, aka the controllers of the universe, did not agree with it. They had their own perspective of what I should become, and then it was kind of that fight between what I felt like I wanted and then versus what they wanted. Eventually, I bended because I'm not the one paying my school fees.
Damn, girl. I feel you.
And then I go to school. I like what I'm doing because I studied law. I become a lawyer. It's great, I remember then I went for acting school after university. I was like, okay, I'm done now. I even give them masters as, extra. Let me just add a little bit of spice, just extra. I was like, I got into acting school. My mother said, you must be confused. You can pray to God. I said, yeah. I was like, maybe perhaps I'm confused. But I think for me, my search in life was always just to be happy. I really don't care what I'm doing. My number one goal in life is just to be happy because I laugh for a living. I like to laugh.
Okay.
So anything that makes me happy, that's what for me, I feel like adulthood should be that internal search for just joy. And not just happiness, but actually joy. But I think we're too serious. For example, like when I was done with school, I was like, I'm going to start a business. I started a food business. That worked for a while. Then I was like, I'm bored. I want something else. Then, I did practice as a lawyer, but it wasn't for me. Then I went into tech. Then I went into real estate, still as a lawyer. Then I went into business development, just like different stuff. And then I was like, I need to go back to my original design, because at the end of the day, if you ask a child what they want when they grow up, sometimes they know what makes them happy, but then you go through life and different things have like changed your mind on what you want, and then you're confused. Anyway, so I decided I was going to find a job that would let me, something that I enjoyed, that would let me then fund my other things that I like to do. So if it's like music, if it's talking, if it's traveling, I needed to find something that would help me fund that. And that's how I was able to, that's how I've been able to survive adulthooding, because if I didn't do that, I'll be in a job that I don't like. I'll be in a rat race. I'll be going to work. There's traffic outside.
Traffic, girl.
Crazy ass traffic. It's ridiculous. The sun is hot. It's as if somebody opened the gates of hell. And it's hot. I'll be out in the sun and stuff. And then sometimes I count urgent and I'm like, Lord, I'm grateful because I was able to find a way to maneuver, a way to keep me happy, because that way I work when I want to work. I decide if I don't want to work at some point, and then I can use that fund to then do other things that I want to do. But if I was in 9 to 5 trying to join this rat race that I'm talking about, I won't be able to do it, and then I'll be feeling overwhelmed. And don't get me wrong, I still feel overwhelmed
girl,
all the time, but it's easier to maneuver because I kind of have control. So I think ultimately our major problem is the lack of control and resources. Because like you said, it's money. If I had enough resources, I won't be so like stoked out about adulthood, because the problem is that you have to now think about your job path, your career path. Everybody's asking you, oh, what's your job? What's your plan in the next 5 years? You don't know. You need finances. You have bills to pay. And then that stresses you out. And then your family has like expectation of, oh, whether you should be married now or not married now. Then you have children. Then you want to have like a house. So if you think about it, it all boils down to money and shelter. That's basically what it is. That's what stresses us out as becoming adult. Because when you were a child, everything was given to you. If you needed money, oh, mommy and daddy, can I have this? Some people will scam their parents to get the money, but they got it. But everything's handed to you.
Amen.
And then you're now coming out of that where your parents are like, okay, we're gonna, we take back the oil of gladness. Yeah. And you're gonna do it by yourself, and you're realizing that, oh my gosh, this is difficult. So yeah. For me, that's how it's been. But it's interesting to see how different people are finding, because I feel like they're different people in different walks of life, just experiencing their own thing. Yeah.
I think the main thing, you said shelter and money.
Oh
yeah. I think really the main thing is self-awareness. That's what I think it is. Because shelter and money doesn't really stress some people out.
True.
That's not the core of what stresses you out, right? Okay, we could say it's the bills, but self-awareness, even in succumbing those bills, as in acquiring the funds for the bills.
Yeah.
So right now, you also mentioned you were in search of a job that would fund your life,
that I wanted, yes,
that you would enjoy, that would be relevant. I think the Japanese call it ikigai.
Oh yeah, actually I've heard that.
Yeah, I see there's a book. It's blue. They're like, ikigai, find your ikigai.
Sounds like your ikigai.
Your ikigai. Yeah. I want my ikigai.
Okay, adults.
Adulting. Holla.
I'm going to talk that relationship aspect, but continue.
It's true. You see, that one is important. Because you walk. If your husband is not in your office, how you going to do this? You're going to go on bubble. I find Bankole.
And then look for, what's his name?
Bankole. Catch me outside, boo.
I'm actually done with you. Are you actually going to go and find Bankole?
Come here. I must find him. We must find him. So I think that is what it is, really. coming into yourself to find something. Because, when you're like, oh, you're searching for all these things, if it's what makes you happy, that's not what you're looking for, because we know what makes you happy.
What makes me happy?
You want microphone. Somebody pass that mic. Throw me that bottle. Throw me that bottle. Come on. Yeah, don't be shy. They'll edit it.
To microphone.
I'm not the one for you. Sing it, baby.
Can't deal with this girl.
You can do it. You can do it. So yeah, if it's what makes you happy. Thank you, team. Somebody is touching me. Yeah. Don't take that out. They'll love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it's what makes you happy, right? But what makes you happy would probably not pay the bills.
Exactly.
And what pays the bills might not make you happy. And what makes you happy and pays the bills might not be relevant.
Exactly. See, this life is a hot beans.
Is a hot beans. It is really a beans. So we gotta find that ikigai. If we read that book, we'll find the ancient Japanese secret. But I'm into Jesus. So I really feel like as you walk with him, he leads you on paths you should go.
Yeah.
So that's really where purpose is as an adult. Purpose is not doing what I love or doing what makes me happy or doing what gives me money or doing what people find relevant. That's not what purpose is to me. Purpose is at every point in time, I'm walking in the light of God and he's showing me what I should do as I'm going. So really, when you surrender in that way and you open your heart to that, it takes off the pressure.
Yeah.
It takes off the pressure because you're like, oh, okay, I'm not doing life by myself. I don't have to figure it all out today. I don't have to find ikigai in the next 3 seconds. So, adulthood, I think, cracking that code is knowing who you are, finding yourself, knowing whose you are as well. That's very important. Even though people might want to take that out of it. A healthy spiritual life is so key to being fulfilled, to being prosperous. Prosper.
Right, I totally agree. And I really love what you said about that as well, because we live in an age where comparison is like the order of the day.
Exactly.
Like, especially with social media, like TikTok, Instagram, all these many things. Like, social media has made people they're constantly comparing themselves. And the problem is that a lot of these comparisons, they're not even reality. It's like people making of things. It's the fleeting seconds, the fleeting minutes. People set up things just to show themselves in a certain way. People even lie. People go to people's houses. People rent jets, rent these things just to look or present themselves as a certain person. Not even that, people are tied to verifications, ticks, blue ticks, red ticks, all these ticks, as if that's validation for their self-worth. Some people even commit suicide because they're not verified. Or, they're not seen by the world international standard. How can that be, the essence of your being, whether you're verified or whether you're dead? And so we now live in an age where there's constant comparison, constant self-criticism, that if you just live in that world, you can lose your mind. And then there we are having mental health issues, anxiety, depression. A lot of these things stem from comparison and lack of self-awareness, and just the pressure of having to have this, do this, be like that person, be like this person. Then we forget that everyone's journey is different. And some of those people have spent years, but they won't show you what they've done. You only see them when they're shining. You've not seen all the stuff they had to do along the way, and you're seeing the finished product and you're like, well, I want to be like the finished product. And some people, God bless them, their parents were able to hand them stuff, so they don't have to work too much for what they have. And then you don't have the same luxury, and then you want to think that you want to be comparing yourself to what your guy has. Or your guy has a car, I don't have a car. Oh my God. Oh, my guy has this amount of money, I don't have it. So then you start to have headache. then you might go do. Then you see people doing things like black magic, jazz, all these things.
I do jazz. Scooby Dooby Dooby Bop Shoo Bop Shoo Bada Bada. Come on now, that's my own jazz.
I cannot do
that's
it
my
with
jazz.
I can't do it with you. But people cutting corners and then they cut their life short because obviously when the devil gives you something, it's not for free. It comes at a price, and he will give you for a short time. He will take more than he gave you, and then you see people like being a mess. And so, it all boils down to that self-awareness, and that's what I was trying to say in terms of like just do what makes you happy, but find a way to do what makes you happy. Like you said, the balance, the ikigai,
the ikigai.
Find the balance, because if you're in a job 9 to 5 and you're not happy, you need the money, right? I've met people who are stuck in a job they absolutely hate. It's draining their life, but they need the money. So
I will not say hatred.
Is it?
Hatred is a spawn of fire.
No, but some people actually hate their jobs. Some jobs actually take out the life from you. Like you have no life. Like you have to be there, work Saturday, Sunday, like no family time. You have children. You don't get to spend time with them throughout your life because you're constantly all for the paper, for the cash, the ego, the money, kudi, the whatever they call them.
If you help me see ego, make you tell them I don't go.
When did you go to, please? But that's the constant rat race we're talking about. So I feel like in terms of finances, right, having to organize your finances, but having to also take that part of your finances and love yourself. I feel like people don't love themselves a bit more. That's why it's harder to deal with life, because you're making money, everything goes to bill. Which percentage did you allocate for yourself? I feel like there should be a self-love budget.
Yes, baby.
I actually created an account called self-love.
I need to do that.
Yes, because at the end of the day, I realized that I would give money to everybody. I'm the last person to receive my own money. And then I wouldn't take care of myself. How does that make sense? So if you create a self-love budget, the moment everything gets a bit stressful, go to self-love budget.
Yeah.
Take yourself, even if it's like a spa day.
Yes.
A movie, a dinner.
Or Ribena.
Ribena and Snickers.
Ribena and Snickers.
At least spend on yourself. Feel good. Doesn't mean like be ruthless with your finances, but you've allocated that money for self-love. Even God says, love your neighbor as yourself. So how can you love your neighbor when you've not loved yourself? When was the last time you took yourself out? When was the last time you pampered yourself, bought yourself what you needed? Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you have to give yourself something. And that makes it easier to face day to day. Because if, let's say you had a crazy week and you just had that, breath of fresh air, then you can go the next week and then attack it a little bit better. But then if you've not done any of those things, you're doing back to back, breaking your back, back to back, breaking your back. And then you go again the next month. And the next year. And the following year. Then your bills are piling up. I mean, you haven't given yourself anything. So I think have a healthy finance in terms of that. What is even a healthy finance?
A healthy finance? I got that, girl. Covered.
Finance.
Oh. I was confused there, for a second.
No, but yes, one of the questions I had, like, also growing, even still nice to ask people, how do you save? What do you do to make money? Some people are like, how do I make money? Where do I save? What job should I be doing? Where's the new business that has the money? And the truth is that there's really no answer for that. Do what you're good at and be the best at it. And then while you're doing that, you might find other jobs to support that, but don't stay in that for too long because you will lose yourself. So you can't lose yourself. You always have to have yourself so you can give yourself, kind of thing. But yeah, so I feel like having that awareness, again, going back to the awareness, would then help you even then manage finances. Okay, you pay your bills, you know how much you have to pay, but at the same time, you've allocated stuff for yourself, you've allocated stuff to even giving. Giving is important. So you have to allocate all these things. And it's very difficult when you feel like, let's say your salary is 100K, and that's how you have to give. That's how you have to save. Like what's there, then you have to pay rent. It's a lot. It can drive you crazy. Especially if you're living in a country like where the money, people don't get paid really well. Like the average salary is, I want to say 150, but that's even being generous.
Mm-hmm.
That's being very, very, very generous. And so let's say as a young person, you're earning 70K. Then let's say you're even living by yourself. Then you want to pay bills. then you want to even go out and spend time with your friends.
Young people are
then you want
going
to
through
look good.
it.
You want to look good, and then you now want to be giving. Someone says you give this, give that. I'm gonna be saying, what's left for me to even give self? You get, so it's like, it's tough, you know. If people were earning a bit better, I think they might be a bit more, you know, chilled. What do you think?
I think you're right, especially with comparison. First off, people don't know. You know, we say things like, "Oh, social media." First off, I cannot relate.
Yeah, because you all know social media.
I protect my space. Protect. So people say things like, "Okay, social media is not real. It's false." But you still find yourself glued, you know, admiring, wanting, yearning, questioning yourself. You still find yourself doing that. And there was, in fact, let me give an example. True story. So there was this girl who I met. Fabulous somebody. Very fabulous. I guess WhatsApp now is social media now.
To be honest,
because of the status thing. So every day this week, she was posting on her stats back to back party, outing, drinking, popping bottles. Shalaye, make you know they have money. I don't want no bar. I was like, okay, this girl is really living la vida loca. So I think at the end of the week or something, I think I reached out just to say hi. Sometimes when these people continuously post, they stay at the top of your mind because you feel like you are living life with them.
Yeah.
You're going through what they're going through. You know what they're up to, right? You really feel like, oh, okay, if you ask me where was this person yesterday, I'll tell you. Yeah. You feel like you know.
No privacy.
The same way we feel like we know certain celebrities.
Based on their status and their stories.
Exactly. Yeah. We feel we know them more than they know themselves. But this girl, I think I reached out to her and she's like, that she has been at home all week, suffering, no money.
Stop it.
No money. She was like, if you know what I'm going through. I was like,
it's not adding up.
It's not. It's really not. In fact, there was one time she posted on her stat. There was this like buffet, like food, plenty food. I think she said maybe she was passing the place. She just took video.
Oh God.
You take video. You put heart-shaped eyes, hungry mouth, and say time to dig in. People would think that yes, this person is eating luxury, a buffet, bouquet. I say bouquet. People really think, but it's just for show. Who are you showing? Like, why do we care so much for the world's validation? After they validate you, what's next? Who loves you? Do you love yourself? It's crazy, really. I think for me, the way I've cracked the code is I live under a fancy rock.
Come on.
My rock is fancy and I like to stay there. Not looking at other people that are not in my space. You either know me or you don't. Or you know that you don't. So I like to be kept updated on what's happening with the people in my space.
Yeah.
And that's it. Every other person, really, because people will only show you what they think it's okay for you to see.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And in the end, you don't know. So why invest any part of your life into that if it's not going to bring you anything? It's different maybe if it's like celebrities, right? And you're updated on their new music, things like that. But anything else, really, it's baseless. You do not know these people. You don't know what they're going through. You probably want their lifestyle.
Which might be fake because you're only seeing what they want to see.
Even if it's not fake, there will definitely be things you don't know.
Yeah, of course. You can never know everything unless you're close to them personally.
Exactly. So why do I want to continue consuming? There's something it does to your brain when you're other people's highlights and you're living your own life where you're going through ups and downs, trials and tribulations, pride and prejudice, goodness and mercy. You're going through all these things and it looks like someone else is having it like water.
Yeah, having it easy.
Right? You will have questions. You will doubt yourself. You will doubt yourself. And if you're not even surrounded by close people who can also share in the realities of life with you, it will just be a lot. And the thing is, because of this rat race of adulthood, it becomes harder to be intentional about building strength in such communities and relationships. So you see that, okay, maybe I do have people that I love that love me. I can't make out time for them because I need money. I need dollar is what I need. So it's really, I mean, I don't think it's that crazy. Once you seek self-awareness, I feel like everything falls in place. Everything will fall in place. Not that everything will be easy.
Of course, it's still a journey.
Yes, but it would be bearable. Bearable.
So in summary, right, self-awareness, and then have your circle, stick to your circle, and protect your space. In fact, that protecting your space, I feel like is such a major.
We cannot overflog it enough. Let's flog it some more.
Key. Do you know, I don't even watch like news. I mean, I stay abreast of what's going on, but I don't go out of my way to go and find information. I don't listen to, like, I guard my mind so much that I only fill it with positivity. And that's how I'm able to spend my day. Like, if I'm waking up, I'm playing like Zen music, I'm playing something positive. Maybe I have my audio Bible playing or a book that I'm reading. Now I'm invested in audiobooks now and have that playing. If I go for a run and listen to like a very inspirational music. When I'm watching something, except I'm watching like a movie, but generally the things that I hear, I control that. And I realized that since I started controlling my airwaves and my eye waves, I've been able to keep my emotions in check.
Beautiful.
I am not feeling like, oh my God, I need to be like this person. I need to be like that person. Oh, I have not achieved anything in my life. Because you only feel that way when you're comparing yourself with somebody. But everybody's a hero in their own journey.
That's it.
You are, like, it's like trying to compare. You don't see iPhone saying, I want to become Samsung. Or Samsung saying, I want to become iPhone. Like, every year or every other year, they have a new model. They update their iOS. And they produce a new model. They become better versions of themselves. By themselves. They're not saying, oh, I want to be like that person. You spend time owning your craft, owning your skills, making sure you're the best at what you do. That's you updating your version. And then you become a better version of yourself. You're not looking at that person and wanting to be that person. You can never be that person, no matter how hard you try. If you like, do plastic surgery and try to be like that person. It's not possible. I really believe that God made us so unique and gave us all unique gifts. That even if 10 people can sing, none of them can sing like the other. There'll be like, it will be a significant difference in how they look and how they sound. And even if I train my voice to sound like you, at some point you still know that, okay, no, that's not Adora's voice. That's Isoken's voice, you know. So that comparison is really the thief of joy. Like, so is to always remember that, okay, I'm on my own journey. I'm a hero on this journey. That means I will succeed on my mission. And in that mission, I will get help, which is like my circle of people who have the same ideology and same values as I do. Because if I have problems and I go to people outside of my ideology, they're obviously going to advise me wrongly. And then I see these people, I talk to them about our struggles. Vulnerability is so important. Everybody's so hardcore. A man. But nobody's willing to be vulnerable. I mean, trust who you're vulnerable with, but you need your circle because You cannot do life in isolation. Life was never created to be done alone. The moment you live life in isolation, you are basically shooting yourself in the foot. You cannot, because at some point in life, you will need help. If it's emotional help, if it's financial help, if it's mental help, you will need help. So when you feel down and overwhelmed and you go to your own corner and say, this is what I'm going to be, I'm not going to talk to anybody, you are shooting yourself in the foot. That's why you need to reach out. At least that's why you should have your circle. Even if Jesus had 12, but he even still had smaller circle.
Apparently, there were even more in that Jesus circle.
In that Jesus circle, yeah, but he kept it small. Like, he kept it small. Even
True.
with the big numbers, he still kept it small. He still had his right-hand man. He still had his second right-hand man. Do you get, like, you still keep it small. So you can't have 100 friends. If you have 100 friends, you have to have your 1 or your 2 or your 3. Because you can't go share all your problems with the whole world, you know? So I feel like, yes, like, we should stop comparing ourselves. We should not do life in isolation. But when you're choosing yourself, think about yourself as the world's biggest business, right? When you're employing people into your business, are you going to be employing every single person that comes, every time they can hire? You're not. You're going to do interview, select them.
Come on.
One by one. Ask them why they're worthy to be in this company. Ask them what they can offer before they come into that company. Will you just open your company to the whole world and say, here, come inside while I'm recruiting? Your business will fail now. Somebody will come and steal. Somebody will come and destroy this. Someone come and take this.
Someone
and then
will kill.
Somebody will kill.
Someone will destroy.
And someone will destroy.
Still kill.
And then it's going to fall apart. And that person has gone to the devil.
Hey, sorry, ma. I have a question. Am I worthy to work in your company? Hire me, please. I have CV and resume.
No, you can definitely work in my company. But yeah, I mean, you see, it's good for us to like even like screen the people that will come into our life or the people that we let come into our head space, our mind space. And I feel like that's how we can actually protect our mental health. Because right now, suicide is on the high. Anxiety, depression is on the high. It's too high. Because our mental health is just on the verge of it's just hanging by a thin thread. You know, there's just so much vying for our mind. Like everything it's a bit crazy, you know. It's a bit crazy, but yeah.
Don't enter the craze, baby. Don't enter that craze, baby.
If you had one advice for someone who's like, I'll say new to adulthood, because I mean, if you've come from like teenage life and you're literally coming to a place where you have to start doing things yourself, you know, that's a lot. So if you had one advice for someone who is like new to adulthood, what would that be?
Get yourself a boyfriend.
You're so unserious.
Get yourself a boyfriend.
You don't give us the advice. Give us.
Sugar, daddy.
I cannot deal with you.
You have to do sugar daddy, baby. To the kids out there, sugar your daddy, daddy your sugar. Okay, but seriously.
Okay.
One advice, a piece of advice.
I'm distracted by this, your shining lips. That's so shining.
Come on, girl.
Like the sun.
Do you want
diamonds in the sky?
Do you want some poker ring? Okay. It's beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Just cut it. Let's see. Advice. I would advise you to... It's actually advise. I'd advise. That's tough, man. That's tough. For me, I'd advise anyone to seek God and love Him. I feel like everything falls in place after that. If you actually seek and love. Because from there, you find yourself, self-awareness. From there, you find purpose. From there, you find balance. From there, you find peace. From there, you find joy. Right?
Yeah.
From there, you find friendship. So, that's what I would say. It's super deep. And if you don't understand, just send an email to adi.badi at coolgirlfinances
That's actually quite a funny thing we came up with.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much.
That's what I would say. What about you? Do you have any advice for the young ones?
I would say stop trying to be like everybody else.
How would you say that? I need to ask this. How would you say that? Because in our society, we have cultural expectations, right? At a certain age, you should be making a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
At least. At a certain age, you should be married, have kids,
have a house,
and a
dog or cat.
Maybe dog, so they don't think that you are doing jazz. Shooby dooby doo.
I just got that. I just got that.
Wow. Check it out. It's my ikigai.
Your ikigai is
my
touching
ikigai.
What is just tired of you? What is tired of you?
So, what was I saying?
No, you were basically telling me about when I said
yes, there are expectations.
Yeah.
There are expectations. People expect this. People expect this. People expect this. If you're not meeting those expectations, you're falling behind.
Yeah.
You're going to think there's something wrong with you. You're going to think you're backwards.
Yeah.
Yes, we can say stop comparing yourself to other people. But if these are the expectations, it becomes the norm. And even if people are not meeting those expectations, they will project it on social media at least.
Yeah, and then
to show them, to pepper them, to fire them down. That look, not only am I actually meeting those expectations, I am exceeding.
Yeah.
Even if they're barely scratching the surface. So nobody is coming out to say, I'm going through. Nobody is putting that on their social media. Nobody.
That's my point.
Nobody is going to say, I'm going through.
They're only putting the best version. You remember I talked about vulnerability. I mean, I'm going to take you back to what you said about self-awareness. And then being aware of who you are and where you are at that stage. Because sometimes people tend to live outside of their budget or outside of their means.
Yes.
Because they're trying to please people. They're not being honest with themselves as to where they are in that moment. There's lack of honesty because they're seeing ABC on social media and they want to be like that person. So I feel like, first of all, look within, right? Then look to God. Well, look to God first and look within. So I take it back to what you said about going back to the source, right? And then knowing who you are.
Sauce.
Knowing who you are in Christ.
Indian or Chinese? Mexican sauce.
Japanese sauce.
Japanese sauce.
Yeah.
No,
and
raw fish in the sauce.
Even if a person is not a Christian or not religious or spiritual, well, I would say to them that, first of all, I would say, I don't know how can you do life alone in this life by yourself with something not bigger than you? It's difficult. But I would say, even if that was not the case for you, I would say, first of all, still look within. Be honest with yourself as to where you are right now in that moment. And then be grateful for where you've come to, because you were not where you were 5 years ago. So appreciate your journey at every step. And then ask yourself, where am I now and where do I need to be? Because you can't tell a person who is not making enough money to take care of themselves now to feel pressured about getting married. They don't even have enough money to take care of themselves. How are they going to take care of their family? And not only that, they might not be mentally ready for that. They might still be dealing with things that they have to work out in their life. So then if I'm looking at everybody and I'm saying, well, ABC is married, so I have to be married, I will not enter depression because society is expecting me to be married. All my friends are married. All my friends are having kids. And then I'm not. Then your parents are like, oh, when are you going to get married? Oh, when are you going to bring that person? Do you get? Because, again, they're putting the expectation on you. So you need to ask yourself, be honest with yourself, where am I right now? Like, for example, like when my parents start to talk about marriage, I told them that, don't worry, when it's time, it's time. That's why I started out now. I'm like, I hear you. I will get married. I will settle down. But right now is not the time, because on my journey, on my personal journey, it's not right now. It might be next year or the year after, but it's not right now. And stop saying anything, because I've told them that it will happen. I'm basically letting them know that they're right. These are your expectations of me. I will meet them, but not at your own time, at my time, or rather God's time. So if you don't acknowledge it, it's almost as if it will be coming back to you. It's kind of like when your brain is going on a raging sea. It's like, brain, I hear you. I know this is crazy, but I'm going to try something else now. So acknowledge that these things are happening. I know that my friends are doing this. However, look at where I've come from. Look at where I could possibly go. I'm going to try and find ways to become better at ABC so that I can eventually get there, and then be content with that. So if we're honest about ourselves, or honest with ourselves, we're content, and then we acknowledge where we're coming from. There's something about gratitude that makes you very humble. If you see where you are, or where you were and where you are right now, it humbles you. So if we could be more, I want to say gratuitous, is that a word?
Gratitudinous.
If we could be more grateful. If I write things down, write where you're coming from, write and see, oh my God.
Take pictures, look at yourself.
Look at yourself. Look at where you were 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Write it down, be like, do you know what? I've come far. Although I'm not where ABC is, the fact that I've done here to here in 2 years, I have potential to do here to here in 4 years. And I will wait for my turn. And in those years, I will not live outside my means. I would do what I can to become better, work on my finances, maybe find a better job, or find maybe where my skills can pay me more, whereby I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing and I'm getting paid for it. If that's happening, then I will do more of it and I'll make more of it. But if that's not happening, then I'm going to feel like depressed and tired, like I'm wasting my years. And I'll advise people, don't stay in one spot for too long. Don't let the fear of failure or the fear of trying again or starting something new stop you from moving. Because I see this common pattern where people feel like, well, what will I do next? Where will I go? I'm here, at least it's giving me money. No, that's how they trap you. Don't stay there. At every point, find your next plan to move. If something is not giving you what you want, don't stay there. Because you will be trapped in there, you will not move, you will not use your skills, and God, I will bless the work of your hands. So if you're not moving and you're not finding fulfillment in what you're doing, if you're finding fulfillment in what you're doing, stay. But if you're not, and you know deep down in your core, this is not where I'm meant to be, get the experience you need, save up some money, add to your savings, move somewhere else. Keep moving. Don't stay in one spot. Because if you stay in one spot, you'll be there for 40, 50 years. You will have children, and you ask yourself, how did I get here? You got here because you couldn't trust yourself enough to move. So trust yourself enough to love yourself to move when you don't like what is happening in your life. Ask for help. Get people that have gone ahead of you and ask them how they did it. Don't be proud. You cannot do life in isolation. You need help. Ask for help. Don't feel like I cannot do anything by myself. And then trust yourself a bit more. When you love yourself, you see yourself even clearly. And then you see the potentials of who you could be and possibilities of what you can be. So those will be my advice, really.
I have a question on that advice.
Okay.
So in the relationship side,
I know we'll go to relationship. Okay, let's go to relationship side.
Now, with this rat race, where do young people, meet, how are we gonna do such? Because it seems like maybe it's just me in my own hamster wheel. It just seems hard if it's hard for young people to find time to spend with their friends, find time for themselves, how are you going to find time to even position yourself at the well?
At the well. Well, yeah, I feel like there are different ways to meet people, right? Mm-hmm. We meet people every single day. It's just that we don't feel like they're good enough for us.
Darn it.
You meet people every day.
It's true.
You just don't feel like, this guy's not looking like my spec. Sometimes we even have unrealistic expectations as to what we want in a man. And so sometimes when we see someone that might be nice, maybe they feel like, this guy does not have enough money for me. They toss that one aside. Or this guy does not as good looking. He's not as mixed race as I want him to be.
Touch me.
And you're like, You see, but you're meeting people every single day. You're talking to people every single day. When you go to church, when you go for a party, when you go for an event, when you go for dinner, when you go out with friends, you meet people now. It's like, do you want to talk to them or do you not want to talk to them? That's the truth.
That's right.
It's like priority of what you think is important. Like, for example, I go to the gym, I see guys all the time. I go out, I go to church, I go to dinner, even when I go to a random place and it's just me and someone, I can say hi to you. We can become friends, We meet people every single day. And in terms of fitting people into your life, I always say you make time for what you really care about.
Boom, shakalaka.
No matter how busy you are, you will make time. If you really, really want it, you'll make time. So I feel like that one, you can fit things into your life. I don't believe that there's no time at all. In 24 hours, you have 5 minutes. You have 1 minute. You have 2 minutes. Hi, how are you doing? Then maybe over the weekend, if you're the busiest person, you can dedicate a couple of hours to have vulnerable, intimate conversations. But you can always make time for things that you really, truly, truly want.
Are you making time, baby?
Yeah.
Come on, girl.
So yeah, basically that's it. That's really it. So thank you for your input. I'm sure the new adults and the in adults and the advanced adults would be happy to hear some of the things we have to say.
I think
and
so.
I feel like you might have helped. You have, not might have. You have helped a lot of people with certain questions that they might have about this adulthood, which some of us think is a scam.
It's not a scam.
It's not a scam.
Change the narrative.
Okay, she says change the narrative. So what would you say adulthood is?
Adulthood is... What could it be?
I think it should be full of surprises. Never a dull moment. Because you just never know what's going to happen.
So instead of adulthood na scam, let's say adulthood na surprise.
Maybe.
What do you think?
I feel like adulthood surprise. What do you think?
What do you guys think?
What do you think?
What do you guys think? What do you hear from you guys?
Adulthood is an experience.
But everything is an experience. Even going to the toilet. We need something more precise.
It's an experience, but we're not saying it's a good experience or a bad experience. So it depends. In different stages,
it's
a good or bad.
Adulthood is a personal legend for you. You just have to follow it. Wherever it takes you, you just have to ride it. Just know you're just ride properly.
Yeah. We need that word so that the youths can, because every single day, that's the theme in people's heads. Adulting is a scam. This adulting scam.
So it's a journey.
Well, the word should. Everybody knows that we didn't just commit to that. Give yourself time for now. Everybody knows that at some point there has to be that point where you give in your all and then pull yourself up. So if the world has to promote a time of pleasantries, not so like it's a rough time. Just a time where you just have to be really, really intentional about yourself.
I think adventure.
Because adventure can be good or bad.
Yeah.
And adventure. It's full of surprises. Adventures are full of surprises.
When I think of adventures, I think of Winnie the Pooh.
Dora the Explorer.
Yes.
We have monkey.
Yes, now Dora the Explorer, first of all, she has talking monkey. Yes.
And I
they will go. There will be one fox that wants to steal their lunchbox. 1, 2. Where is the hotel? Is it behind me? Adulthood na adventure.
It is. And it's interesting because we're talking about Dora and a pet monkey, but I imagine I see adulthood as what they call spirit animals, when everybody has that thing that follows them. I feel like only we can see.
Jazz pass shubidu. Hey, Mama, your voodoo. I don't like this voodoo that you do.
Well, yeah, I feel as this thing just taking you left, right, go here, you go here, go right, you go here.
Where did spirit animal come from, Mama?
I don't know, I've heard that thing before now.
No, it's not of God. God has not given us a spirit of animal.
Oh, the Holy Spirit then. But I'm just trying to paint in the picture.
Okay, paint that picture.
Adulthood is a journey, it's an adventure.
Yes, baby.
Adulthood is an adventure.
It's an adventure. Own your adventure. Own the obstacles.
And take the ride.
Own that ride.
Go with the ride. What's that song? I don't know the lyrics.
Hey, must be the money.
Must be the adventure.
Bye, guys. Are we buying? No, let me leave it to you.
Should we bye, guys? So bye, guys. So see you guys next time on episode 2 of. Oh yeah! Don't forget to like, subscribe. You know,
share the video.
Help your fellow adults, and send in emails and let us know what you want us to talk about. If you have any questions, if you're dealing with something like mental health wise or emotional wise, we have a team of people who can help you out. So don't do life alone. Anyway, see you next time on Help. I'm an adult. Kisses.
Come in my Superman, make I be always there, no.